Africa, I'm very excited today because I am inside the trading room of Easy Equities, and I'm going to be chatting to a young man who is a trading expert. Mr. Paul Khweyane is one of the most amazing traders in the continent. Speak to me about trading.
All right, let's just grab a look at two companies and basically what you look at when you are looking to invest or trade. So when you're looking to invest, essentially, especially for long term, the first thing that you look at is the fundamentals of a business. So what the fundamentals are essentially is what makes up the core of a business. Okay. All right. So you're going to be looking at the management of the business. You're going to be looking at what the products of that business are, where the business is operating. What is the competitive edge that the business has?
Okay.
So if we're looking at Naspers, for example, okay, one of the things that they do is own multi-choice. All right. And in South Africa, they basically dominate the market. There isn't really anyone out there that can really compete with them. All right. So from a fundamental point of view, one can say that's a good business to invest in. So say, for example, if you had bought the share in 2010, it would have cost you 300 Rand.
And you probably would have said it's expensive.
Exactly, right? But if you had that long-term view, you would have understood that the business is going to grow. Okay. So from 2010, let's look at where we are today. So 300 Rand, high of the share was 2,200.
So now it's sitting on 2,000.
Sitting at 2,000. So for a single share that you bought for 300, today that share would be worth 2,000.
But that is long term.
Long term view. All right. So, but that's what it is. When you're investing, you've got a long term view, which is why fundamentals are important.
Okay.
So let's look at another company in terms of fundamentals. So this is African Bank.
This is African Bank,
right? Okay.
We all know what happened to African Bank.
So we all know what happened with African Bank. So the fundamentals were not there. Okay. If you started in 2010, African Bank would have cost you per share 31 Rand.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. But when it crashed in 2014, well, the share went all the way to zero. Okay. But just before that, the share was what? At 8 cents. Okay, why? Because the fundamentals of the business were not intact. And that is the problem. So let's look at another bank.
Capitec, maybe.
So if you look at Capitec, the fundamentals were intact. All right, the business had good corporate governance, had good leadership, had good products, had a very specific target market that they were approaching, and the target market was growing. Okay, if you invested in Capitec in 2010, a share would have cost you 131 Rand. Okay. Today, a share would cost you 572 Rand.
Capitec has done well.
Extremely well, because the fundamentals of the business are intact. Good leadership, good products, very strict and very targeted market.
So you're saying
exactly
the things that drive trading is greed and fear.
Well,
when is it the right time to buy? When is it the right? Well, how do I know when is the right time to sell?
Okay, so there's a huge difference between trading and investing.
Okay.
Okay. When you're investing, you look at fundamentals, and you've got a long-term horizon. So you've got a 5-year, 10-year horizon. Okay. When you're looking at trading, it's normally a short-term view. Okay. And that's when the greed and the fear comes in. Greed and fear drives the market, all in all. There's a time when people get scared, and there's a time when people actually become greedy. And what you need to do as a trader or even an investor, you need to analyze when people are getting scared. All right? And when people are getting scared, you need to ask yourself why. Once you figure that out, in most chances, that's when you should be getting into the market. When people get greedy, you need to ask yourself why. And most likely, this is when you need to be stepping back and getting out of the market.
If you were to give one last advice to anybody out there or younger entrepreneurs who are interested in either trading or investing, what would you say to the camera?
It's never too late to start, and never underestimate yourself in terms of what you know, in terms of companies, and what needs to go into investing.
And if you're interested in learning and getting in there, go to www.ee123.co.